Coming up on this week's Scroll Digital, we'll tell you about how the government shutdown affected students.
And we'll show you a new workshop that has been brought to campus. Stay tuned, Scroll Digital starts now. Our top story this week, the recent government shutdown, has affected many students in one way or another. Our reporter Matt Leach went out to talk to some students about how it has affected them or someone they know.
The government has finally decided to reopen after 2 weeks of a government shutdown. But not every BYU Idaho student is excited about the fact that the government is reopening because of the deals that had to be made. So I found myself at the MC interviewing some students about their thoughts on the government shutdown and the government reopening. This isn't the first time the government has shut down, as 17 years ago under President Bill Clinton, the government was closed for 26 days. How has this government shutdown affected students today?
My dad wasn't getting paid for those 14 days, and he spent a lot of time at home doing nothing, sort of sitting there and waiting.
There's the ROTC program here, and I have friends that are in it and talked to them and realized that a lot of them weren't actually getting paid.
It didn't really affect me personally. I thought it might because my dad works on base at home, but he was fine.
Next, I asked students their opinions on the government reopening, and the opinions were mixed.
I think they could have continued perhaps even a little bit longer in the partial shutdown, and so that way they don't have to raise the debt even more so than it already is.
You know, raising the debt ceiling or whatever you call it, I mean, that obviously hurts us in the long run, but maybe it could help us step by step right now.
I think, maybe temporarily closing it, like only certain parts, like certain jobs maybe that aren't extremely essential. Then again, I can't say what's essential or not.
Finally, I had some students put themselves in the politicians' shoes to see what they would have done differently.
The way that the church works, that if we applied that on a national level, it would take care of our problems.
But I also kind of wish that the Republicans wouldn't have stooped so low to sort of force the government shutdown.
Reporting for Scroll Digital, I'm Matt Leach.
For more information on how the government shutdown and the recent reopening has affected students, visit byuicom.net.
Students gathered to walk the plank this week. Reporter Waylon Wagner gives us the scoop on where and when it took place.
Shiver me timbers! Well, at least shiver for these pirates. It was pirate-themed date night at the ropes course on Friday the 18th, and they had quite the turnout. Before these eager landlubbers could start on their adventure, they first had to go through a safety briefing by their captains. They eventually took sail and began on their adventure up the wooden Tower of Terror. Madeline Zanger, the ropes course facilitator, tells us of her expected outcome of how many people she was hoping would show up.
We expected around, around 10 couples maybe. It's kind of an average.
But her expectations were exceeded when 30 minutes after opening, they got another wave of adventurous pirates. But how will they be able to handle the cold night? Mitchell Kalmar gives us his reasoning for showing up at the pirate night.
YOLO, just no. Just because it seemed like it'd be way fun, and it looked pretty sweet. I actually saw it before we came. We passed by, and it looked like some fun. So. Yeah. Okay.
His friend Dalton Wharton tells us of his thoughts on the ropes course.
There's some difficult parts, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like it's a good challenge. Yeah.
Even though the sun was setting, these pirates were in for a long night of fun. I'm Waylon Wagner reporting from Scroll Digital. Stay savvy, Idaho.
To find out more about the ropes course and events they have going on there, you can visit byui.edu.
The University Forum took place this past week. Senator Bennett came and spoke to students about some of the most pressing political issues we are facing today. It was a full house for the hour he spoke, and students had the opportunity to personally ask questions at the close of his remarks.
Cue back in. She's gonna come back out. He explains a lot. Like it explains it better than like in class, and it's easier to understand. And it was really interesting to see how the two parties work.
I thought the lecture itself was kind of biased. There were a lot of good points that were touched on, but it definitely leaned a lot to the right. So I think it'd be really cool if the school could bring someone in to balance that out, maybe from the Democratic Party. This helps me definitely to become more politically active. It's good to hear, I guess, politics from both sides of the fence, and so this is a good opportunity to hear from a side that I generally don't listen to.
The University Forum takes place every semester, and students are highly encouraged to attend.
Next, we'll show you how one student added his own workshop to the BYU Idaho calendar, coming up after the break.
So, you want to know about life skills? Come on, let's check it out. Life skills are free classes offered on campus by the Student Activities Program. They cover a variety of awesome subjects that'll blow your mind. Life skills workshops are for you. You beautiful you. It's developed by students for students to help you develop your talents, learn new skills, and just have fun.
An activity was held recently where students were able to pay $15 to learn the art of making moccasins. The event was put on by Outdoor Activities, in which the students were provided with leather, scissors, paper, string, and tape to create their own moccasins.
Yeah, I definitely encourage other people to come and do this because it's just a neat experience, something you can do with other people, get to know more people, or take a date. Just a fun date idea, and you get to have a pair of moccasins afterwards, so why not?
You can turn anything to an art, like you can make moccasins out of leather and they turn into these beautiful pieces of artwork you get to wear on your feet every day. So I feel like it's just more useful day-to-day art.
The moccasin making is held every few months on campus. You can find the exact dates on the BYU Idaho calendar.
A brand new workshop has been created this semester. This new workshop on campus is a branch off of the guitar workshop. Jacob Stevens has the scoop.
BYU Idaho now has a ukulele workshop where students can go to enjoy learning a new musical skill.
Like, there were no advertisements for ukulele workshop because they all said guitar, so that was kind of frustrating. So I applied to start this workshop. So that's kind of how I became the manager, is I just talked to Talent Activities and requested it.
Most people know this thing as a ukulele, but in Hawaii it's pronounced ukulele. And the only thing I know how to play is a C chord. But at the ukulele workshop in MC room 368, I can learn how to play the ukulele if I really want to.
Because it's fun. Like, we just sit around, we chill. It's not really, there's no curriculum. We just see what the students need to learn, what they want to learn, if they have a song they want to learn, or they need help with strumming, picking patterns, anything really. We just break off into groups. We can do one-on-one or in larger groups and all play together and sing.
You can learn new songs. Like, I've already learned 2 new songs just being here for the past 40 minutes. And it's nice to just see other people that have the same passion that you have for an instrument. So you can learn from each other.
Reporting from the MC, this is Jacob Stevens, Scroll Digital.
The workshop is held every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So Matt, the weather has been really nice this week. Is this going to continue?
You know, at least for the weekend, we should be able to have that sunny weather and mild weather as well, but some pretty significant changes are on the way and they're about to take place in the near future that may warrant extra gloves and a big winter coat. In the meantime, expect a marvelous weekend with mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-50s to lower 60s. Overnight lows will be on the chilly side still, with lows dipping into the mid-20s. A very cold pool of air draining directly out of the Arctic is making its way to the Intermountain West, and this will bring high temperatures from the mid-50s on Sunday to possibly as low as the mid-30s on Monday, with the chance of snow increasing, and cold weather will persist through the new week, but it looks like mostly dry with partly cloudy skies and highs in the low 40s just in time for Halloween. We'll find out how some students are showing off their school spirit, and we'll also show you what happened at the competitive sports match this week. Stay tuned, Scroll Digital Sports is next.
So, I drive up, get the girl, totally stoked. Yeah. Disaster. No. Not us, them. Problem solved. We want to take you to dinner. Awesome. Steak. Boom. And then, boom. No way. Chef special? Special chef. Wow. Bon appetit. No. Bon appeheimlich.
Dude, what did your date think?
Welcome to Scroll Digital Sports. I'm Nick Christensen. In women's ultimate frisbee this past week, the Thunder beat the Spartans 9-8 in a very intense game. Both teams fought hard throughout the entire game. This fall season is full of new players. According to Sarah Clark, the women's ultimate frisbee coordinator, this brings a lot of potential to the teams.
There's a little different feel. You know, it's a little bit slower on the field, and it always is. You know, the beginning of this of the season. But especially when there's new players, you'll see a lot more, you know, little mistakes out on the field. But as the season goes on, it's really going to turn up and it's going to be really great. Yeah.
Games will continue this weekend for both women's and men's ultimate frisbee. BYUI's Spirit team recently held tryouts over the past couple weeks. Our reporter Emily Peterson went out and got the inside scoop of what we can expect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If you take stunting, add in a bit of tumbling, and let's not forget dancing, this can only mean one thing: cheerleading. This semester at BYU Idaho, the Spirit team is run a little bit different. In fact, it is run by almost completely freshmen. Even their head coaches are freshmen.
The team ranges from freshman to junior. There is quite a few freshmen. The returning sophomores, you can kind of tell like they know what they're doing. I think it's a good ratio.
Lauren Scott, a new freshman herself, just made the team a few weeks ago.
Freshman year, I was like, oh, cheer sounds nice. So I tried out, made it, and I loved it. Senior year, I coached like tumbling and stuff with little kids. And so when I came to college, I was like, I kind of want to do something.
As a new freshman, it seems like it would be hard to balance school, homework, church callings, and cheerleading on top of everything else. But Scott thinks that it is actually helpful.
I have time to go right to cheer, and that kind of breaks me up from school and going home.
Scott looks forward to the rest of the semester with her new team.
I love how it's like a cheer family, and having kind of like sisters, and like just the different personalities kind of help you like through the day. I think we're gonna do really well.
Reporting from the Hart Stadium, this is Emily Peterson, Scroll Digital.
If you're interested in joining the Spirit team, tryouts are held at the beginning of each semester. You can also catch the Spirit team at the competitive sports games. In fact, catch them this Saturday as they play in the football games between 12 and 5 p.m. Next, we'll show you how students socialize by masking their identity, coming up after the break.
So I'm really hungry right now and I really want a yummy burger.
Oh, I know, but all I have is this bottle of water.
Can I have some?
Sure.
Hold on, that's the scroll. I haven't finished reading that yet.
Finally, this week, reporter Jamie Koger visited a very suspicious event on campus to give us a look at Halloween festivities.
The Masquerade Ball was back again last Friday night to offer a dazzling evening for its guests. Students transformed themselves into elegant characters and filled the Hart Gym and Mainline Ballroom. Those that came enjoyed the live band that played swing hits and classical music. Students had many reasons for coming to the Masquerade Ball.
Well, I said there's gonna be a lot of pretty girls, and I said I should go there.
We decided to come just because we heard there was gonna be some Latin dance, and because I like to dress up. So, and then actually it looks like it was a pretty good turnout, and it looks like it'll be fun. So, we decided to come in.
I came last year, and it was super fun. So, that's why.
Students brought out their best costumes and had some interesting stories to tell about them.
And she told me that this was the mask that her daughter received whenever her son-in-law was knighted in Venice. So this is an authentic mask from Venice. And like literally her son-in-law was knighted, which is kind of cool.
Reporting from the Hart Building, my name is Jamie Koger, Scroll Digital.
Halloween celebrations are happening all throughout the end of October. For more information, visit calendar.byui.edu.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Squirrel Digital. We're always online with news stories daily at byuicom.net. Also, be sure to follow #SquirrelDigital on your favorite social media site. Have a great week.